Welcome back, everyone, to episode 3. We're going pretty fast. So today, we'll probably get into the most expensive video that we have. So we have a plan to basically duplicate an application that I use to evaluate real estate deals. There's some limitations to the application that I don't particularly like. And so what we're going to do is evaluate it, come up with a list of enhancements, choose a language, and work through an architectural diagram to see how we're going to structure the app. Create a repo, create a Hello World sample, and that'll be it for this installment. And in the next installment, we will have further progression. So without further ado, let's start our timer, our deep work timer, and let's get to it. So this is the application that I use, and so basically we put in an address here. This 1212 4th Street, Washington, D.C. Grab a URL, say how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, apartment units, and square footage. All right, let's just use all of those. Asking price, 700,000. Appraised value, current debt, current value, agent name, lender, and skip all that good stuff. Put the home price here. That'll come up with the PMI on top of the mortgage. And don't worry about if you're like getting freaked out. Like, I don't know anything about real estate. Like, we're just evaluating this thing, and I'm giving the context. I'm recording it here so I know what our application needs to do. So at the end of this, it tells you based on some criteria that you input whether it's a pass or a purchase. And so what we're going to do is basically copy this whole functionality. One of the things that I would really like is if I could drag and drop, say, a web page like Redfin. If I could drag and drop Redfin, take this and drag and drop it onto this property, and it would actually take all the information from here and fill it out, and then I would get a purchase and pass. So that's the enhancement that I want to make. And also, there's some more detail on a spreadsheet that we'll use to do the formulas here. So that's pretty much what we're trying to create. Let's copy down and write down what we think. So architecture diagram. So I like to use draw.io. We'll use this in the device, create a new diagram, and we'll just do it from scratch. So we create this. What I like to do is just put a couple boxes here. So pretty much we're going to have the front end client, right? We're going to have an actor. So this person will use their mobile device to talk to this front end client, right? I'm on my desktop or I'm on my mobile phone. I'm talking to this front end client. So I'm going to input that data, and then the client either needs to process the data and redisplay it, or we can send that data to someplace else. So middleware slash API possibly, but we need to send that data to somewhere else to get it processed, right? And we're just going to assume that for now and see if we actually need to do that. And then we also, from the client, need to save the data, right? So either from the client straight to something like Firebase, we need to save the data somehow. So let's put database here. I like to use a little cylinder for the database. So DB, right? And we can use our middleware to do this, right? So this is a simple application. Why would we want to do it this way? So what are some other ways we can do this? We can do straight front end, straight to DB. What implications does that have, right? We go front end straight to DB. We can do this. Let me just keep those options here. One of the benefits here is that if we want, this is a front end client of a desktop, right? Or we can do a mobile device, right? So an Android phone or an iOS phone. So iOS app, Android app, right? And those are all kind of, they can all access the data in the same way and kind of manage that independently. And this arrow duplicate can come here, or this arrow can come here, right? So this looks like accessing the Google website from your desktop versus from iOS versus from Android. There's some things you can add here, but again, let's go back to our scope of work. Web 2 app that takes informed data. We say nothing about mobile. Okay, we need to access it on mobile as well. But we can also access on mobile this way because this will be a website, right? So this would be a web app. Let's not do desktop. Let's do web app, right? Slash mobile web, right? Mobile web is where you just go into the browser on your mobile device and then type in a website. So we still have the same option here, web app slash mobile web, right? So one of the things here is there's less complexity, right? So let's write some of the, so there's pros and cons list. Less complexity to solve our scope of work. Less services to manage, potentially less expensive to host or to serve. Look into, so we should look into the cost. We should look into the cost. Look into what else? Maybe simpler to manage. What are the pros here, right? So what are the pros here? So we have future proofing for native mobile app, or enabling other usage via OAuth. Nonetheless, above and out of our scope. Out of line, right? What else do we get here? We get the ability to separate the logic from the front end such that the front end code can be shared without revealing the formulas for the data, for the calculations, right? Um, mm, so really, this scenario looks like this. So let's look at hosting and what benefits we may get from hosting. So if we get more benefits from hosting, this is easier to host and more cost effective to host, then we likely will take this. Okay, so we have our architecture diagram, right? Now we need to figure out hosting and deployment. So that's another thing. If we deploy this, this is a single deployable. If we deploy it this way, we have to solve for two deployment patterns for the deployment of two artifacts. Okay. Okay. So let's bullet it. So 1, 2, 2. That's complexity 1, 2, 3. All right. So this is the question we need to solve. Let's do this. What are the most popular web app hosting services? Let's go ahead and bookmark these. Episode 3, and then I'll probably share that out in another episode where I review them. So GitHub Pages, Firebase, Heroku, AWS. Yep. Okay. All right, and let's go ahead and do the language evaluation. Node versus Go for web app. Okay. Which is better for backend development? That's not what we're looking for. create node monorepo template. We're not going to use, so create a React. Here we go. See React app. Well, rounded POP. No. All right, and what we're going to do is code to open real quick. And then we have this package JSON. See, it put some stuff in there for us. And what we're going to do is install the Linux console. What we're going to do here is just push this to our branch. I'm going to publish the public repository. All right. So now we have this one, and we have a README, and we're also going to I'm going to add the README. Update the README, going to change the main branch, and now we have the start of our application. So we will continue on in the next version. Done. So that's done. We did it all with 32 minutes to spare.